Hello everyone, this is Sharul from the Web3 Passport, and today I'm joined by Mário Alves, Mario, and Sarah. Sarah is here with us, accompanying Mario in EthDublin conference today. But Sarah is a bit shy to join us. But I also wanted to say, first of all, introducing Mario. Mario is CEO of LayerX, and your organization and your team is building the Web3 product and Web3 developer. So Web3 developer economy through different products and tools that you offer as a part of LayerX. And I wanted to say that this journey to accomplish something really big is it's hard to take alone, but when you have a partner in crime, it becomes a lot easier. So we miss Sarah not being here with us, but it's great to have met you today. And so it's a beautiful journey together, and to supporting each other through challenges and hardships and reaching the goal, to reach the summit together.
Yeah.
So it's nice to meet you both today.
Yeah, thank you very much. I would just like to say that, as usual, Sarah is in the background, although she's not visible today. She's always there to help me out through my journey, and she's been a very important role, especially creating LayerX and becoming a CEO and a co-founder. I believe that when we have someone by your side that can help you through all the hardships that you encounter and make them easier to overcome, it's 90% of the work done, right?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, absolutely, it is true to have the right partner in crime together. Right. So let's dive into LayerX. So I found out that recently you have gone through the rebranding of LayerX, and LayerX is a combination of TAIKAI and BePro products together. Can you give us some light on that? Can you
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I started the company in 2018, and when I started the company, it was actually called TAIKAI because it was our first product. So TAIKAI is a Web3 hackathon platform at the moment.
And that's what we are using in EthDublin conference
today
to organize hackathon.
Exactly. Yeah. So we've been in many ETH events. We've been working with both Web3 companies, communities, but also in the Web2 space. So we've been also organizing hackathons for European Commission, for Pfizer, for Hilti, for Microsoft. So all of these big and traditional Web2 companies.
Yes, and how can we forget that we do still have hackathons in Web2 space?
Yeah, that's true. And actually, I think it's very important to say that the hackathons were actually born in the Web2 side of things. But for Web3, it makes even more sense to have those. So it's a new technology. It's something that people are starting to get on board. And sometimes, although the information is always available online, it's easier for you to get yourself into the game when you have like-minded peers that are working towards the same goal as you. And that's why Web3 hackathons are so important. And that's also why we believe that we should play a very significant role in it. So supporting these communities as EthDublin, for us, it makes perfect sense. And we want to continue to do so. Because it's towards that goal and doing it together that will accomplish bigger things.
Very nice. So when we say that we are building a Web3 developer economy through LayerX, so is the one component for that is supporting hackathons and events. Are there other components to building Web3 developer economy?
Yes, absolutely. So as I mentioned, when we started the company, it was solely focused on TAIKAI products. Recently, last year, we did an acquisition of another company called BePro, and the previous company or the previous team had developed a protocol for bounties. So for those of you that don't know what a bounty is, it's basically a task specifically for development. So it can be developing a new feature, a new product, and the way that the product operates is in its decentralized manner and using smart contracts. So an organization that wants a task to be done can simply describe the task and put a specific money price on top of it. That money is locked in a smart contract. So when someone delivers the work and that work gets approved, that person gets immediately paid through their wallet. So there is no intermediaries in the process. And that's the power and the future of decentralization.
Very interesting, Mario, because when I went through TAIKAI portal, I found out about bounties and I was wondering what bounties is, but I think it's just I procrastinated looking for bounties. But you have answered my question as well. But those bounties were in USDC. Yeah. So they are paid in USDCs mainly to the candidates who maybe win or are rewarded? Yeah,
so it can be paid in any type of token. So at the moment we are integrating with any Ethereum compatible network or chain. So what this means is that as long as it's an Ethereum token, it can be used in our protocol. So USDC, USDT, which are in simple terms compared with the US dollar, but it can also be paid in Ethereum or in our own token, BePro.
Interesting. Yeah. So we have our own token, BePro.
Yes, nice. Exactly.
And I think so I think you were talking about BePro, and then we moved on to bounty conversations. So let's kick off on BePro and what BePro was doing when you acquired your company acquired it.
Yeah, sure. So when we acquired BePro, and this goes a little bit further back, just to provide some context. I was a part of the initial team that was starting to build BePro. I was an advisor back then. So when I started getting into the crypto and blockchain scene, I wanted to help like local companies and local startups. So that was one of the companies that I helped out. And then they started like creating the product. They launched the token back in 2019. So they did all of this process. So we, as I said, acquired the company last year. It already had like the first version of the product launched. It had already a token in the market. So it had already a set of things that were already in play. We came in with a purpose of making it better and expanding it, and also like seeking cross-pollination activities between hackathons and bounties, because we believe that they're pretty much in the same space, in the developer space. So that's exactly why, reaching the point why we say that we are working towards the developer economy, because we believe there's a lot of ways to build software. But for me and for us as a team, we believe that decentralizing that development is the way to go, especially right now when we have so little resources in terms of development. Everyone is fighting for developers, as you may know. So now we are at that phase in which we can provide a different alternative for companies, organizations, individuals, and that's what we're working towards.
Interesting. So that's how, and then you and your team have decided to rename the whole the
umbrella
whole
company.
Ecosystem, umbrella company to LayerX. So what is the current vision for how LayerX looks like? What is the roadmap going forward?
Yeah, that's an excellent question.
Towards the exciting things.
So that's what excites me the most, like looking towards the future and seeing if we are accomplishing our vision. So when we first started the company, our mission was simple, which was to create bridges between organizations and this ecosystem of developers. Although the mission is simple, the task is hard to accomplish. So again, we started with a hackathon product. We now have a bounty product as well. And the way we see it in the future is also expanding our offer. So we also have like an open source product that we built for the community that helps Web2 developers to join the Web3 space. Like you want to create a token or a DeFi project or NFT, you can simply grab the framework that we built so that you can in 5 minutes, 10 minutes time, start working on a Web3 project without having to gather all of the knowledge of coding in Solidity or all of these technical aspects of the blockchain technology. So on one side, we want to keep like seeing how we can make these developers and these organizations' lives easier. And within one specific product, so TAIKAI, which was kind of like my first son.
And I just wanted to say that because you have been a taekwondo athlete for 14 years, so is it where how the name was derived? TAIKAI, taekwondo.
So it was inspired on the Asian culture for sure. Again, I've been a taekwondo athlete for quite some time now, and I think it has helped for myself as an entrepreneur and as a co-founder. So you really need to be disciplined. You need to follow certain values, and I took those values from taekwondo to the company, and that's the values that we applied it. But answering to your question, TAIKAI is actually a Japanese name that means co-opetition. So a mix between collaboration, competition, which is what hackathons are all about, and what this ecosystem, the Web3 ecosystem, is all about. So like collaborating with each other and bringing some healthy competition. For me, it's the key to actually grow the ecosystem even further.
Very interesting. And when you mentioned about the Web2 facilitating Web2 developers to transition smoothly into Web3 is a great vision, and this we do see this is happening and very soon, and facilitating them in an easiest way is a fantastic and very beautiful vision and the roadmap for LayerX.
Yes, I think that building the bridges is what we should be focused on. So I just wanted to make a brief comment because the Web3 space sometimes feels like it's pretty much for the techies and the people that are already in the space for quite some years, but it is not. So I think that it is becoming the present more than the future. And in order for it to work for all the people that we want to onboard, we need to have bridges that are easy to get and easy to make, so that these people don't feel alone within that journey. So that's what we're trying to do.
Right, interesting. And I forgot to mention initially that you both are joining us from Portugal. So LayerX head offices are located in Portugal. So what is the whole Web3 blockchain ecosystem in Portugal currently looks like?
Yeah, so that's a good question because I started my journey in the Web3 space in 2016. There was no company created there at the time. And I hadn't met like anyone within the ecosystem of Portugal that was building anything in the space. So when I started this journey, I was trying to find people that could be in the same space. So I started doing some small meetups. Those small meetups turned into big meetups and into conferences. And looking back, I feel like we've come a long way in terms of our country has been very entrepreneurial throughout the years, but in the Web3 space, I feel like now we're getting a lot of momentum, and I'm just trying to do my part for the ecosystem to grow. Some interesting initiatives that we've been doing recently. So we created ETH so similar to EthDublin, back in my hometown. And also created a Web3 hub, like a co-working space with events, with community called D House, that we started in Porto, now expanded to another city in Portugal, and our idea is to quickly expand it to other cities as well.
Very interesting. And on this, I want to mention one of your vision that I took from your LinkedIn profile. So it says that have fun while building useful things for people and changing the world in the baby steps. And it also connects with your starting of Ethereum Po2 community. And then the second project, would you repeat the name of this small?
Yeah, It's called D House,
D
as in
House.
decentralized house.
D House is
Yeah.
decentralized house, and that you have built up this D House community across different cities, and it's all small baby steps to
Exactly.
making a bigger impact. Yes, lovely. And
Yeah, I think that's the way to go, right? You need to start small, and some people don't think that or want to create something big to begin with, but that's not how things work, right? For example, coming here to EthDublin and seeing that there's already an interesting community over here, it's somewhat gratifying because I can see that the community is forming, and the next edition will even be bigger, and it will grow over time, right? And that's what I mean by growing, taking baby steps.
interesting, Mario, and it's a very joyful conversation.
Thank you.
And I was thinking that yes, one question I have on the Ethereum aspect. So currently, LayerX only operates on Ethereum blockchain. So is it possible in the near future that we can support more chains?
Yes,
Is
absolutely.
it? Okay.
So, for example, in the hackathon product, although we are building on Ethereum compatible chains, we are working with many organizations that are not in the Ethereum ecosystem, such as Avalanche, Near, Algorand. So all of these different chains. Because for us, I don't think that we should like be biased or kind of like pick religious wars inside. Cherry picking inside the Web3 space. We all want to grow, and for me, I think it's very important to unite the ecosystem. So on the hackathon aspect, we're doing that, and on the bounty protocol, so the BePro network product, what we're doing is making it multi-chain. So this is something that was very recent, but we already integrated 4 different chains on the product, and we want to keep integrating more, because that's how we believe that we can actually reach a wider audience.
Right. Very interesting. And also today in the Ethereum Dublin conference, you were a part of a panel discussion on now when we're talking about building new products and taking a next step and iterations. Now it comes to the recruitment as well. So you were a part of panel for Web3 recruitment. So as a CEO and a co-founder, what have you experienced in this phase, and what challenges do you see in the recruitment side of things? Because I wasn't in the panel, I couldn't attend it, so I would like to get some insights from you.
Of course. Something that I said, and I truly believe this, otherwise I wouldn't be building the company as I am. I honestly believe that the future of work is going to be more task-based. And by saying that, I think that we are now in a position where we're going back to 200 or 300 years ago, where every job was task-based. So you get paid by the task that you did. But then with the Industrial Revolution, you started to have factories. So it was very important for these business owners to have a schedule of working hours, to have you getting a contract, to getting you having a fixed salary, and that worked very well for quite some time. But now we are in a completely digital and global world, and for those activities, I think it doesn't make sense for you to be completely attached to one specific job or one specific role, when you can do so much more things throughout your career and your life. And that's why I keep believing that the future will be working. So taking the Web 2 analogy, working for NASA one day and Google the next. That was our slogan. Our slogan in TAIKAI. And that's what I truly believe, taking this approach of working and putting your skills up to work on specific things and specific tasks that you're really good at. And that's, I believe, the direction that we're going.
Interesting. Very insightful conversation. And now I'm thinking that, so I think we're going back to when you started your career into this space in 2016, and you were one of the few people, or you were the one in Portugal to see that, and now I have to do something about it. I have to take steps into building this ecosystem in Portugal. And then you started Porto community and then D Hubs. So I think I diverted the conversation probably at that stage, or did you have further the life story or journey to share with us from D Hub? So
yeah.
All right.
So yeah, it wasn't just me, although at first it seemed like I was the only one getting into these matters, but then I found like-minded people and crazy people like me that I actually wanted to like make this something relevant for our country. So that's when we realized, like, by seeing that there were other people in the space that were so passionate about this topic, that we started to unite and started doing more initiatives for our countries and for newcomers. So I started just briefly, just wanted to say that I started a community called D Nights.
Okay.
D
Nights.
D Nights,
so
yeah,
it's
as
decentralized nights.
Yes.
Okay.
So it started as after parties for big events.
Okay.
We had a lot of big events, especially in the Web3 space, happening in Lisbon. So we used that as a way for people to get to know the local scene, like people that were coming from abroad specifically for those events. And then we evolved the model into building conferences, into building co-working days, into building things that could unite people even further. And it's an initiative that, again, started in Lisbon, but then went to Porto, Braga, Coimbra, Madeira, which is like an island in Portugal. So it's completely far off the standard Web3 ecosystem. But we managed to pull that off because we always had that spirit of let's make things together and let's grow together within this ecosystem.
Interesting. Very interesting. And at the same time, you were also an advisor with Becom, and you were in your 2018 as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that time.
So at the time,
so much of activity was happening. So many projects were founded, and
yeah, exactly. So actually, I was part of the first company that was built in Portugal from the Web3 ecosystem. So it was the first company that did an ICO in Portugal, and that was very exciting for me. Although I wasn't taking like any official role in it, I knew the people that were building it. I was very excited with what they were doing. So I believe that this position of trying to help people out helped me also to understand more on how the system and this ecosystem operates. And that's my advice to everyone that wants to get on board this train and this space, is to find the projects that you like and to actually knock on their doors and say, hey, I want to help you out. I want to participate in this. I'm very excited about this. Let's make it happen. So after that initial project, I started helping more and more companies and more people throughout the space. And that's why I eventually founded LayerX, or previously TAIKAI, in 2018, because I felt like at that time it was needed to have like a product or company that was focused on this vision of building bridges. And that now looking back makes sense. Of course, we had some obstacles on the way, as any company does, but it actually makes sense for me to reach up to this point and to be able to say proudly that I built a community, that now we have an event like ETH Porto, that we now have a co-working space over there, because it all accumulates and it all compounds, although we do not see it right away, right?
Definitely, I agree with you. It all accumulates, it all compounds, but we definitely don't see it. But that all is taking us to an ultimate destination.
Exactly.
But it's that all hard work, that all accumulation. It's invisible. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like a puzzle that we don't see it
right,
right away.
Right. Absolutely. Wow, Mario, this has been an incredible conversation. Now, Martin is here with us. So we have been. Do you have any questions for Mario? Yeah.
I wanted to ask, you were mentioning about you wanted to make more accessible for people with no coding experience and no like very tech people to build like their own maybe like some crypto startup or like some company. Let's say that like someone who wants to build some company, yeah, like some let's say whatever, like some company, like let's say like Fiverr, for example, or Upwork, where you want to hire freelancers and these kind of things. How can you actually make it easier for them, and what is kind of like steps they need to do to start building?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So within the product, the first product that we built, TAIKAI, we always saw that most projects died after the hackathon, and some projects that were not born out of a hackathon could eventually become startups. So combining these experiences, we always thought that the way to go was actually to find a way for people to be able to create those projects through our product. So what we're doing right now is evolving that platform from being a hackathon platform and to becoming an innovation social network. And what this means is we've created now this concept called TAIKAI Garden. And what we're doing is providing a way for people, after building a project within TAIKAI, within a hackathon or not, to be able to showcase that project, to be able to bring more teammates in. So let's imagine I'm not a technical founder, but I have very good skills in marketing or business or whatever, but I need a developer to help me out. It will be possible to make it happen through TAIKAI. You will also be able to look for mentors that are not part of the official team, but that can help you accelerate your growth. Also look for funding. So these are the tools, and looking at the future, it's what we're currently focused on. And this all connects with the other product, with the bounty product. So after you have a good team, good core team to build an MVP, and that product is already rolled out, you will probably need to do extra developments of features or other things that you see that you need to build. And you don't need to create a huge team or a big team in terms of development to make it happen. And even if you don't have anyone inside your team that is a developer, you can simply launch a bounty and say, okay, I need to build this. I'm willing to pay X amount of euros or dollars or whatever token that you select, and it will be possible to grow your product and create your product through the bounty protocol.
Amazing. It's amazing that basically you giving with this opportunity to a lot of like entrepreneurs to bring their ideas to life, because a lot of these people don't know how to put team together. They would have to go on 10 different platforms to find someone for developing, someone for marketing, someone for like whatever. And this is amazing that is everything like together basically in one bundle, and you don't have to go anywhere else, and all the people on that platform have the same interest. That's one thing what is amazing. And then also it's amazing that it's not just helping individuals to grow their business, bring their ideas to life, but also it's helping in general crypto space, and regular people can see that actually it's not that hard to get into that, and it can revolutionize whole world and make it better place. So it's amazing. It's amazing project.
Thank you.
And another thing I wanted to ask actually how people could get your token, on which it's like on Uniswap or somewhere, or
Yeah, so basically we have a token that serves a specific utility for the BePro network product. That token is available on several exchanges, both decentralized and centralized. So yes, it is possible to buy it on Uniswap, but also on KuCoin, on Gate.io, or other exchanges that are available in the market. But we do have a different token for the TAIKAI product. That token is not a financial asset, at least at the moment. So we wanted to people adopt the product first, and with that adoption, then think about listing the token and providing more utility to the token. So as I mentioned, within this TAIKAI garden aspect, the token will be used for all of these interactions, like paying to mentors to help you out, to paying to help gather a team, to get funding. So all of these interactions will be done through the token. And through there, we're going to list that token as well. So if you are participating in today's hackathon, for example, you're already collecting tokens as rewards for your participation, and that will accumulate and serve a higher purpose when we roll out these new features of TAIKAI Garden. So that's the plan, and that's what we are building at the moment.
Very interesting.
amazing.
Martin, they were wonderful questions you have asked. Yeah, very insightful to hear you talking through all those details, Mario. And just to ask about the clients, where are your clients located around the world, or
Everywhere.
everywhere? Wow. Cool.
Yeah. So we by being in Portugal, we started by addressing Portuguese companies when we started, but then we quickly started to get other clients in from other regions. So we have been mainly getting clients from Europe, from Brazil, specifically due to like language and cultural proximity, from the US as well. One specific region that we haven't targeted so much is Asia, because we still hadn't like time and resources to explore the whole world. But still, we get a lot of hackathons from any part of the world, and it's something that for me, that I've been like in a small country, and that I'm building this for a global purpose, and getting hackathons from anywhere in the world makes me really proud, and makes me also incentivized to help other people to build their own projects for the world, instead of just thinking locally and thinking that it will just reach X amount of companies or X amount of organizations, you know, and that's also something that I'm working towards on.
Interesting, very interesting, and especially when I found out that yesterday that I read about the project TAIKAI, and then I found out that we were using TAIKAI, and then when I got introduced to you, then I found out that it's TAIKAI is LayerX project, and Mario is here present in the EthDublin conference where we are using TAIKAI, and then I mentioned to you that this is a great platform to gather feedback and to see the platform being used in their real life. So have you been able to gather some feedback, and how did you see your platform being used in the real life scenario, or have you been to similar conferences before where you saw your platform being used and facilitating the workshops and hackathons and making such a big impact for developers?
Yes. So for us, it's very important to gather feedback, because for us, it's the way we grow.
Okay.
So we've been going to all of the physical events that we are partners. So in this case, EthDublin. Before that, we were a part of EthDam last weekend. We were also a part of EthTaipei, Porto, as I mentioned, but also Samba in Rio. We'll be in Belgrade next week. So for us, it's very important, like, to be physically present, although our platform works in a digital and remote way. And the reason why that is actually to gather feedback from people, to understand what are their needs, what we could do better, because we are building a product that is not just solely focused on the organizations that launch the hackathons, but also on the community and the people that actually use the product. So for us, it's very important to see if we are going the right direction. And it is through this feedback that now we decided to roll out this TAIKAI Garden feature, because it was something that we gathered over the years, and we feel like now is the right timing. And for me, that's how products should be done.
Right.
We shouldn't think that users are just numbers in a whiteboard, but more on what are their actual needs, and is my product serving them good or not? That's what I'm focused on.
Very interesting, Mario. Thank you for sharing all this wonderful information and insights about your project. And it's been very enlightening. And
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for your time today, and to Sarah as well. Thank you for being here. And I just wanted to say that all the best with TAIKAI Garden, and all the best with all the great projects that are going to develop in the near future in different iterations with LayerX.
Yeah,
And
it has
I
been.
wish you all the best, and to your team.
Thank you very much. It
Thank
has
you for
been
being
a very interesting experience.
Yeah.
So thank you for the invitation. It was a pleasure to be here and to answer to all of your questions. It was really good.
Thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much.